I'm watching my daughter's city die, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. Captain Cole Harris, USS Porter, March 14th, 2044. 18 miles off Virginia, close enough to see the glow on the horizon. That glow is Arlington burning. That glow is where Emma lives, 14 years old. Probably asleep when the first missiles hit. Was asleep. I don't let myself think past tense. Can't. Not yet. Not while I'm still breathing and this ship is still fighting. Let me tell you how it started. How we ended up here watching America's capital turn into a fireball while Russian submarines hunt us in the dark. 6 hours back, everything was routine. Destroyer Squadron 22 running standard patrol. 5 ships, 40 miles of ocean, protecting the approaches to Chesapeake Bay. We'd been doing this for weeks. Watching Russian naval assets move south from the Arctic, tracking Chinese deployments in the Pacific, listening to intelligence analysts talk about elevated threat levels and strategic posturing. But nobody used the word imminent. Nobody said tonight. The war had been going 4 months already. Started with declarations and congressional votes and all that diplomatic theater that makes people feel like civilization still matters. But the real war, the shooting war, that kicked off when China put hypersonics into our Pacific bases and Russia started sinking cargo ships in the North Atlantic. We figured we had time. Figured they wouldn't be stupid enough to hit the homeland directly. Figured wrong. This isn't the Pacific. We've got thousands of miles of empty ocean to maneuver. Out here, everything's compressed. Chesapeake Bay is right behind us. Washington D.C. 30 miles inland. Norfolk Naval Station 50 miles south. Everything worth protecting is within spitting distance. Within missile range. Within dying range. The Porter's a good ship. Arleigh-Burke-class destroyer. 9,000 tons, 450 feet of steel and weapon systems. I've got 280 crew who signed up to defend their country. Now they've got to find out what that actually costs. Lieutenant Commander Marcus Webb runs tactical. Face lit glue by the display screens. Chief Warrant Officer Patricia Vega handles weapons, voice steady, even when the world's ending. Petty Officer First Class James Kim has sonar, listening to the depths for things that want to kill us. General quarters for 8 hours now. Crew's exhausted. I'm exhausted. Coffee doesn't help anymore. Nothing helps except training and muscle memory and the desperate hope that we're good enough, fast enough, lucky enough to stop what's coming. We're not. I already know we're not. But we're going to try anyway because that's the job. 0422 hours. Still dark. Eastern sky just starting to pale. The ocean looks like black glass. My uncle taught me to fish these waters when I was a kid. Taught me respect for the sea. How it gives and takes without tearing what you think is fair. I'm thinking about him when Webb calls out. Captain, air search. Multiple contacts bearing 270, range 300 miles, high altitude, speed profile consistent with cruise missiles. I'm counting, Jesus, 40 plus inbound. 40 missiles, 300 miles out, closing at subsonic speed. Do the math. 22 minutes to Washington. 22 minutes before Russian Gallipoli cruise missiles start hitting the White House, the Capitol, the Pentagon, before they start killing Americans by the thousands, before they maybe kill my daughter. Did me not come. Alert the task force. Weapons free on my authorization. I want every radar system hot, every missile prepped. On it, sir. I move to tactical. The display shows our 5 destroyers spread across the water. Portrait Center, Carney to the north, Roosevelt and Truxton to the south, Mason on outer picket. Maybe 400 missiles total between us if we're fully loaded, against 40 inbound. With more coming, there's always more coming. The math doesn't work. Never does. You train for this, run sims, practice until you can do it blind, but nobody tells you how it feels when the contacts are real, when the missiles are real, when the people about to die are real. Northcom confirms tracking. National Air Defense engaging. F-22s launching from Andrews in Langley. Ground-based interceptors going active. They want us to kill anything that leaks. Leakers. That's what we call the missiles that survive the fighter intercepts, the SAM batteries, the desperate gunfire from every system between here and the city. Leakers are what kill capitals. Alert weapons, we engage any hostile in our sector. How many standards we carry? Vega checks her board. 96, mix of Smoke 2 and Smoke 6, Block 3 and 4, ready to fire. 96 missiles sounds like plenty. Until you remember modern war is about throwing enough threats that the defender's magazine empties before your attack stops. Then, the leakers get through. Then, cities burn. Cross-link with the other ships. Overlapping fire zones, coordinated intercepts, maximum probability of kill.
Radio traffic explodes. Fighter pilots calling targets, tracking data, intercept vectors. Air defense batteries around Washington spinning up, preparing to throw everything they have at the incoming raid. It's organized chaos. Everyone fighting their own piece while trying to hold the larger defense together. And through it all, those 40 missiles keep coming. Time to engagement range? 15 minutes to outer zone. Fighters should intercept in 12. 12 minutes. I watched the display update. Missile symbols crawling toward the concentric rings representing Washington, representing home, representing my daughter's apartment building in Arlington, assuming it's still standing, assuming anything's still standing after this. 14 years old, straight-A student, wants to study marine biology. Last time we talked was 3 days ago before Porter deployed. She asked when I was coming home. I said soon. Liars go to hell, they say. Guess I'll find out. Captain, update from Northcom. Second wave detected. 60 plus additional contacts, same bearing. 20 minutes behind first wave. My stomach drops. 60 more missiles. 100 total inbound to the capital. The Russians aren't probing defenses. They're not testing responses. They're going for the throat. They're trying to decapitate the United States government in one strike. Alert the task force. Everyone needs to know what's coming. Tell them prep for sustained engagement. Webb's already working it. Around the bridge, I see my crew processing the information. 100 missiles. Even with perfect intercepts, even with every system performing flawlessly, some will get through. Have to get through. The math is simple and brutal. Emma's in Quellington, in the path, in the kill zone. I lock it down. Can't think about that. Can't think about anything except the tactical problem. Save the ships, kill the missiles, do the job. That's all that matters. That's all I can control. Captain, update from Carney. Tracking subsurface contacts. Possible Russian submarines bearing 045, range 30 miles. Sierra 1 through Sierra 3. Of course there are submarines. Russians wouldn't launch this attack without sub-support. They want to take out our defensive ships, prevent us from interfering with the missile raid. Classification? Carney assesses Akula-class attack boats. Nuclear-powered, quiet. Probably moving to firing positions. 3 submarines hunting 5 destroyers. Normal day, we prosecute those contacts with helicopters and ass rock. Kill them before they threaten us. But this isn't a normal day. This is the day where 100 missiles are inbound and we need every weapon focused on that. Tell Carney, maintain track but hold fire unless the subs go active. Priority is cruise missile defense. First explosions bloom in the western sky. 70 miles out. Too far from naked eye, but radar shows it clear. F-22's engaging the lead elements. I'm-120's launching, tracking, impacting. Each intercept a small victory. Each splash, one less missile aimed at Washington. Not enough, though. Never enough. First wave down to 32 missiles. Fighters splashed 8. rest continuing toward target. 32 missiles. Still devastating. Still enough to level city blocks. Still maybe enough to kill everyone I love. 8 minutes to our engagement range. I watch the symbols march across the screen. Watch fighters vectoring for another pass, trying to kill more before the missiles reach ground defenses. Radio erupts again. All stations, Huntress, confirmed launches from submarine platforms. Multiple cruise missiles bearing 070, range 200 miles. This is a coordinated attack. Second wave airborne. Submarine-launched missiles. The attack is bigger than we thought. Bombers launching from beyond the horizon. Subs firing from underwater. Multi-axis strike designed to overwhelm everything we have. Captain, Roosevelt detecting periscope depth contacts, range 12 miles. Sierra 4 preparing to engage task force. Fourth submarine. Close enough for torpedoes. Close enough to kill us while we're busy defending Washington. The tactical problem just became impossible. Defend against missiles or defend against subs. We don't have weapons for both. We don't have time for both. Webb, we need to choose. Engage those subs. We pull missiles offline that could stop cruise missiles hitting Washington. Focus on cruise missile defense. Those subs pour torpedoes in us. He looks at me, smart kid, understands the impossible math. Your call, Captain. My call. My responsibility. My crew dies, or Washington burns. No good answer exists. Only the answer I can live with. If I survive to live with anything. We defend Washington. Alert the task force. All ships focus cruise missile intercepts. Submarines are secondary. They launch on us, we deal with it then. But those missiles reach the capital, millions die. We hold here. Aye, sir. Decision made, committed. Now we wait to see if it was right, or if it was the call that kills us all.
The first missiles reach Washington at 04:44 hours. I don't see them hit. Too far inland, too many buildings in the way. But I see the flashes light up the horizon like a strobe, one after another, after another. Each flash is 1,000 pounds of high explosive connecting with concrete and steel and flesh. Each flash is somebody's office, somebody's home, somebody's life ending in fire and pressure wave and collapsing rubble. Each flash might be Emma. Captain, Northcom reports multiple impacts in the Washington metro area. Damage assessment ongoing. They're saying at least 15 missiles got through the defenses. 15 out of 40. 62% intercept rate. In peacetime exercises, that would be considered excellent performance. In reality, it means 15 neighborhoods just got erased from the map. Any word on Arlington? Webb checks his display, face grim. Sir, reports of fragmentary fires reported across multiple areas. Emergency services overwhelmed. I don't have specifics on individual neighborhoods. No specifics, which means Emma could be fine or she could be dead, and I won't know for hours, maybe days, maybe never if the city's infrastructure collapses completely. I push it down, lock it away. Can't help her from here, can only do the job. Time to second wave. 12 minutes, 60 plus missiles still inbound. Fighters are re-engaging, but they're Winchester and long-range shots. They'll have to get close, use guns if necessary. Guns against cruise missiles. Desperation tactics, but when you're out of missiles and the targets keep coming, you use what you have. Our engagement range. We'll have firing solutions in 8 minutes. First contacts should enter our defensive zone at 70 miles. 8 minutes. I look around the bridge. My crew's holding together, but I can see the strain. Webb's jaw is clenched tight enough to crack teeth. Vega's hands shake slightly as she works her console. Kim has his headphones pressed so hard against his ears I worry he'll damage something. They're scared. Good. Scared keeps you sharp. Scared keeps you alive. All hands, this is the captain. I key the 1MC shipwide. First wave hit Washington. We don't know damage yet. What we know is 60 more missiles are inbound. We're the last line between them and the capital, between them and our families. So we're gonna stand here and we're gonna kill every single one we can reach. Clear?
Silence for a beat, then responses filter back through the comm. Aye, Captain. Clear, sure. Let's get some. Simple words, but they matter. In the moments before everything goes to hell, words matter. Captain, sonar contact. Sierra 4 is maneuvering, turning toward us, increasing speed, assess attack profile. The submarine, the one 12 miles out. It's done waiting. It's coming for us while we're focused on the missile defense. Range and depth. Kim studies his display. 11 miles now, depth 300 feet, speed 20 knots. Sir, that's fast for an Ekela. They don't usually run that loud unless they're committed to an attack. 20 knots. Closing distance, getting into firing position. Do the math. Maybe 15 minutes before it's in optimal torpedo range, which means 15 minutes before we have to choose again between defending this ship or defending Washington. Alert, Roosevelt. Tell them Sierra 4 is going active. Request they prosecute with ASROC if they can spare the weapons. Roosevelt acknowledges they're preparing to fire. The Roosevelt. Arleigh Burke, like us, good crew. Commanded by Captain Lisa Reeves, who I went through the war college with. She's got the same impossible choice as I do. Every ASROC she fires at that submarine is one less missile she can throw at the cruise missile rate. But if that sub puts torpedoes in the water, ships die. Simple as that. Captain, second wave entering outer engagement zone range, 80 miles. National Air Defense engaging. Here we go. Round 2. I watch the tactical display. 60 red symbols marching towards Washington. Blue symbols racing out to intercept F-22s and F-35s, probably low on missiles, probably scared out of their minds. Still going back into the fight because that's the job. Explosions bloom on the display as the fighters engage. 1 missile down, 2, 4, 7, splash count 11. 49 missiles remaining in second wave. 49. We killed 11. Good start. Not nearly good enough. Ground-based interceptors engaging. Patriot batteries firing from Andrews, Fort Meade, Arlington.
Arlington, where Emma lives, where Patriot batteries are launching missiles to protect against the incoming raid. I picture her in her apartment, hopefully in a shelter, hopefully underground, hopefully anywhere except where the missiles are about to hit. Focus. Can't think about that. Watch the display. Watch the intercept. Watch the splash count climb. 18 kills, 42 remaining. Better. Still not enough. Time to our engagement range? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Until we start throwing standards. Until we commit our defensive missiles to stopping what's left of the raid. Until we find out if 96 missiles is enough. Sierra 4 is launching. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 295. Range 10 miles. The submarine fired. God damn it, the submarine fired while we're trying to defend Washington. Classification: analyzing. Possible Type 53 or Test 71. Russian heavy torpedo. Speed: 45 knots approximately. Time to impact: 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Before a Russian torpedo, maybe 1,000 pounds of warhead, reaches someone in the task force. Maybe us. Maybe Roosevelt or Carney or one of the others. Deploy noisemakers. Evasive pattern Charlie 2. Continue tracking the missile raid. The porter heels as the helmsman throws us into evasive maneuvers. Noisemaker rockets fire from the stern, splashing into the water, creating acoustic decoys that might pull the torpedo off course. Might. No guarantees. Modern torpedoes are smart, adaptive. They listen and learn and adjust. Torpedo tracking. Sir, it's not targeting us. Tracking shows it's going for the Roosevelt. Roosevelt. Lisa Reeves and 300 crew about to get a torpedo up the keel if they don't evade. Alert, Roosevelt. Tell them torpedo inbound. Give them the track. They acknowledge. Going evasive. On the display, I watch the Roosevelt symbol start maneuvering, trying to get away from the torpedo chasing her. But she's a big ship, not agile, and the torpedo is fast and closing. Captain, we're at engagement range on the missile raid. Request permission to fire.
Vega's voice cuts through my focus on the submarine drama. Right, the missiles. The 60 missiles that are still coming, still closing on Washington, still going to kill thousands if we don't stop them. Weapons free. Engage with standards. Coordinated fire with a task force. I want maximum coverage. Overlapping zones. Kill everything. Aye, sir. Firing. The porter shudders as standard missiles blast from the vertical launch cells, one after another, rapid fire climbing into the dark sky on pillars of flame. Around us, the other destroyers are doing the same. The ocean lights up with missile launches, a constellation of fire reaching toward the incoming raid. Beautiful. Deadly. Maybe enough. First standards are contact, multiple splashes, we're getting kills. On the display, red symbols start winking out, each one a cruise missile destroyed before it reaches Washington, before it kills more people. Splash count, 28. Third of the raid down. 28 kills. 42 minus 28 is 14. 14 missiles still coming. 14 chances for more neighborhoods to burn. Continue firing. I want everything. More standards launch. More red symbols disappear. The splash count climbs. 30, 35, 40. Captain, we're at 70% expenditure on standards. If we keep this up, we'll be Winchester in 2 minutes. 70% means we've fired almost 70 missiles. Got 40 kills. Not a great ratio, but the missiles are evasive, equipped with countermeasures designed to survive exactly this kind of defensive fire. Keep firing. Priority is stopping this raid. 2 missiles left inbound. Ground defense is engaging. 2 missiles out of 60. We killed 58. The ground defenses have to kill the last 2. Have to. Because if those missiles get through, if they hit Arlington, if they hit Emma's neighborhood, impact. Webb's voice is flat, professional, delivering information that might mean my daughter is dead. Where? Checking. 1 missile hit Alexandria near the waterfront. 2nd missile hit Arlington, near Clarendon. Clarendon. 2 miles from Emma's apartment. 2 miles is nothing for a cruise missile warhead. The blast radius, the shrapnel, the secondary explosions from ruptured gas lines and collapsed buildings, all of that spreads. 2 miles might as well be 2 feet. I can't breathe, can't think, can't process anything except the knowledge that my daughter might have just died while I was 18 miles away doing my job. Captain, Roosevelt reports torpedo impact imminent. 30 seconds. Status on Sierra 4. Roosevelt fired ASROC before going evasive. Fish in the water, tracking the submarine, but the torpedo was still running hot. On the display, I watched the blue symbol representing Roosevelt maneuvering hard, trying to get away from the red symbol of the torpedo chasing her. The geometry is bad. The torpedo was faster, more agile. It's going to catch her. 20 seconds to impact. I grip the railing. Can't do anything. Can't help. Could only watch. 10 seconds. The radio crackles with Roosevelt's captain. All hands brace for impact. Then nothing. Just the hiss of static and the sound of my own breathing. And the knowledge that somewhere behind us, a torpedo is about to hit an American destroyer. The explosion, when it comes, is distant but clear. A deep thud that travels through the water, through the porter's hull, into my bones. Roosevelt reports torpedo impact, starboard side below the waterline. They're taking on water, losing power, casualties unknown. Taking on water. That's Navy speak for sinking, for dying. For 300 sailors fighting to keep their ship afloat while the ocean pours in through a hole the size of a truck. Roosevelt's ASROC torpedo has contact. Explosion bearing 287. Assess hit on Sierra 4. Small victory. We killed the submarine that killed Roosevelt.
But the submarine's torpedo already did its job. Already crippled an American destroyer. Roosevelt is requesting assistance. They're flooding in 3 compartments. Fires reported. List at 8 degrees. 8 degrees? She's going over. Slowly, maybe, but going. Alert Carney. Tell them move to support Roosevelt. Get damage control teams and pumps over there. We maintain station and continue missile defense. Aye, sir. Because there's always another wave. Always another threat. The first raid hit Washington. The second raid hit Washington. Roosevelt is sinking. And somewhere in Arlington, in a neighborhood 2 miles from where a cruise missile just hit, my daughter might be dead. But I'm still here. Still commanding. Still fighting. Because that's the job. Captain, Northcom is broadcasting emergency traffic. Washington is declaring a state of emergency. Multiple government buildings hit. Pentagon took 2 missiles, significant damage. Capitol building damaged. White House hit, but bunkers held. Casualty estimates in the thousands. Thousands dead. In one attack. In 45 minutes of cruise missiles raining down on the capital of the United States. And we stopped most of them, killed 85 out of 100. In any simulation, that's a victory. In reality, it means thousands dead and a city burning and my daughter somewhere in the wreckage. Any word on civilian casualties in Arlington? Web checks? Nothing specific yet, sir. Emergency services are overwhelmed. They're saying it'll be hours before they have detailed assessments. Hours? I don't have hours. I need to know now. Need to know if Emma's alive, if she's hurt, if she's scared and waiting for help that might not come. But I'm 18 miles offshore on a warship that just expended 70% of its defensive missiles. I'm not going anywhere, can't help her. Can only stand here and wait. Captain, sonar contact. Multiple new subsurface contacts. Bearing 180, range 40 miles. Count is, sir, I'm reading 5, possibly 6 submarines. All submerged, spreading out. 6 more submarines. The Russian undersea fleet is moving in, trying to finish what the cruise missiles started. Trying to sink what's left of the task force so Washington has no naval defense. Classification. Unknown yet, sir. They're running quiet. Could be Akula, could be Yasin class. Won't know until they go active or we get better returns. 6 submarines against what's left of our task force. Roosevelt is sinking. We're low on missiles. The others are probably in similar shape. The tactical problem just got worse. Again. Alert the task force. Multiple subsurface contacts inbound. All stations prepare for ASW operations. Deploy helicopters if available. Active sonar, the works. We find these bastards before they find us. Aye, Captain. I look at the tactical display. Shows the burning wreckage of our defense. Roosevelt's symbol flashing, red, dead in the water. The coastline where Washington is burning. The submarine contact spreading out, hunting us. And somewhere in all that chaos, in all that fire and death and destruction, my 14-year-old daughter is either alive or dead. And I can't do a damn thing about it. I pick up the 1MC. Kid, need to say something to the crew. Need to hold them together for what's coming next. All hands, this is the captain. The first attacks hit Washington hard. We stopped most of them, but not all. People died. Our people. Maybe your families, maybe mine. I don't know yet. But here's what I do know. 6 more submarines are inbound. They want to finish us. They want to sink this task force so Washington has no protection from whatever comes next. So we're going to find those submarines, and we're going to kill them. And then we're going to hold this line until someone relieves us, or we run out of weapons, or the ocean swallows us whole. Responses filter back. Quieter this time. Grimmer, but still there. Clear, sir. Aye, Captain. Let's kill these bastards. I drop the handset. Look at Webb. Get me a firing solution on those submarines. Every one we can track. I want ASROC ready to fly the second we have confirmation.
Working it, sir. The porter turns, maneuvering to unmask her bow sonar, searching for the submarines in the deep. Around us, the other destroyers are doing the same. A lethal game of hide-and-seek in the black Atlantic while Washington burns behind us. The radio crackles. All stations, Northcom. Be advised, third wave detected. Bomber launch from Russian strategic aviation. Estimated 100-plus cruise missiles inbound. Time to Washington, restricted airspace, 45 minutes. 100 more missiles. And after everything we just threw with the first two waves, after expending 70% of our magazines, after watching Roosevelt get torpedoed and Washington burn, they're sending 100 more. I closed my eyes for just a second, just long enough to process that we can't stop this, can't win this, can't do anything except stand here and throw what we have left at the incoming raid and hope it's enough. It won't be. I already know it won't be. But we're going to try anyway. Because my daughter is in Arlington. Because 300 million Americans are counting on us. Because this is the job, and we don't get to quit just because the odds are impossible.
I open my eyes, look at my crew. Young faces, scared faces, determined faces. You heard Northcom. Third wave inbound. We've got 45 minutes to reload, rearm, and prepare to do it all over again, so let's move. Webb, I want every available missile brought to ready status. Vega, coordinate with the other ships, find out what they have left. Kim, keep tracking those submarines. The moment they give us a shot, we take it. Aye, sir. The crew moves. Fast, efficient, professional, doing their jobs. Even though they know the math, know that we probably can't stop 100 missiles with what we have left. Know that Washington is going to burn again in 45 minutes. But they're moving anyway, because that's what sailors do. They stand watch, they fight, they die, if that's what it takes. And somewhere in Arlington, in a city that just got hit by cruise missiles, my daughter is waiting. Waiting for the next wave. Waiting for me to save her. Waiting for help that might never come. I turn to the viewport. Watch the glow on the horizon. Watch Washington burn. And I make a promise. To Emma, to my crew, to myself. We hold this line. Whatever it costs. However long it takes. We hold.
The Roosevelt goes down at 0512 hours. I watch it happen on radar because we're too far away to see with the naked eye. The symbol that represents 300 sailors and 10,000 tons of American steel flickers once, twice, then disappears from the display. Just gone, like she never existed. Kearney reports Roosevelt is capsized. They're picking up survivors from the water. Count so far as 48. Sorry, that's 48 out of 300. 252 dead. Drowned in the Atlantic while trying to defend their country, while trying to stop missiles from hitting Washington, while doing their jobs. I knew Lisa Reeves for 15 years, served with her on the call, went through war college together, stood at her wedding. She had 2 kids. Had. Past tense now. Because a Russian torpedo punched through her hull and the ocean to the rest. Acknowledged. Tell Kearney to continue SAR operations, but maintain defensive posture. Those submarines are still out there. Aye, Captain. 6 submarines. We've been tracking them for 20 minutes now. Active sonar pinging, helicopters dropping sonobuoys, every ASW system we have working overtime. Found 3 of them. The other 3 are ghosts, running silent in the deep, waiting for the right moment to strike. And in 40 minutes, 100 more cruise missiles hit Washington. The math is getting worse. We're down to 28 defensive missiles. The Kearney has 32. Truxton has maybe 40. Mason's reporting 60, but half her short-range ESSMs, useless against cruise missiles beyond 15 miles. Added up, we've got maybe 160 missiles total across the task force, against 100 inbound threats. Best case scenario, assuming perfect intercepts, assuming no malfunctions, assuming the missiles do exactly what they're designed to do, we stop 80%. 20 missiles get through. 20 more neighborhoods burn. 20 more chances that Emma's apartment building takes a direct hit. Worst case, we're overwhelmed in the first 30 seconds and Washington gets leveled. Captain Sonar contact, Sierra 7 is maneuvering, bearing 095, range 22 miles, depth 400 feet. Assessment is Yasin class attack submarine. Yasin class. Russia's newest, quietest, deadly submarine. Carries caliber cruise missiles and torpedoes. Can operate at extreme depths, nearly impossible to detect when it doesn't want to be found. And it just revealed itself. Which means it's either making a mistake or preparing to attack. Time to weapons range? Kim works the calculation. It's already in range, sir. Yasin class can engage targets out to 30 miles with torpedoes, further with missiles. Already in range. Already positioned, already ready to kill us. Give me a firing solution. ASO rock, 2 weapon spread. We kill it before it shoots. Solution locked. Firing. The porter shudders as 2 ASO rock rockets blast from the VLS cells. They arc into the dark sky, trailing fire, then splash down 20 miles away. The torpedoes deploy, go active, start hunting. Feels running hot, straight, normal. Time to target area, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. In submarine warfare, that's an eternity. Sierra 7 has 4 minutes to detect the incoming torpedoes, deploy countermeasures, go evasive, maybe fire back before our weapons reach it. Sierra 7 is launch a multiple launches, sir. I'm reading, 6 torpedoes in the water. 6 torpedoes. From 1 submarine. All of them targeting the task force. Classifications and tracks. Speed profile suggests Type 53 heavy torpedoes. Tracking shows, Captain, 2 are targeting us, 2 targeting Truxton, 2 targeting Mason. Submarine's dying throw. Firing everything before our torpedoes reach a trend to take us down, even if it doesn't survive. Time to impact on us? 12 minutes at current torpedo speed. 12 minutes. Our torpedoes reach Sierra 7 in 4. If we kill it, its torpedoes keep running. If we don't kill it, it fires more. Deploy noisemakers. Evasive pattern Baker 5. Alert Truxton and Mason. Torpedoes inbound to their positions. The porter heeled hard as we maneuver. Noisemaker rockets fire, splashing into the water, creating acoustic signatures designed to look like a destroyer to a torpedo's seeker head. Designed to doesn't mean they work.
Captain, our torpedoes aren't... Contact. Explosion bearing 094, range 22 miles. Assess hit on Sierra 7. Confirmed kill. Sonar is... Contact. Breaking up, sir. Multiple small returns. Debris field. Assess Sierra 7 destroyed. 1 less submarine. 6 torpedoes still running. 2 of them tracking us. The tactical problem never gets simpler. It only gets harder. Status on the torpedoes. Tracking shows they're going active search after the noisemakers. One's lost contact going wide. The other is reacquiring. It's turning back toward us. 1 torpedo. Homing. Closing. Maybe 8 minutes now until impact. Continue evasive. Deploy final noisemaker spread. Vega, do we have any ASW helicopters available? Negative, sir. Our Romeo is up supporting Carney's SAR operations. Truxton's helo is prosecuting another submarine contact. No helicopters. No way to drop a torpedo in the water to kill the incoming weapon. Just evasive maneuvers and noisemakers, and I've been running on hope for 6 hours. It's wearing thin. Captain, Northcom update. 3rd wave is now at 120 miles. 32 minutes to Washington. National Air Defense is engaging. F-22s and F-35s are going guns only guns only against cruise missiles. Suicide tactics. But when you're out of missiles and the targets keep coming, you use what you have or you die trying. Our magazine status. Vega checks her displays. 28 standards remaining. Mix of SM2 and SM6. After that, we're down to ESSMs and the 5-inch gun. 28 missiles against 100 inbound. 7 other ships have maybe 132 more. 160 total against 100 threats. The math almost works. Almost, if every missile performs perfectly, if every intercept succeeds, if luck decides to start favoring us instead of killing us. Big if. Prepared to engage on my command. Coordinate firing solutions with the task force. Overlapping zones, maximum coverage. We're going to need every shot to count. Aye, Captain. Webb appears at my side. Voice low. Sir, we need to talk about something. I look at him. Young officer, good head on his shoulders. Smart enough to see problems before they become disasters. If we expend everything on this raid, we're defenseless. No missiles, minimal gun ammunition, dead in the water if those remaining submarines come at us. We'll have nothing left. He's right. Tactically, strategically, every way that matters, he's absolutely right. We should hold back reserves, maintain defensive capability, position ourselves to survive whatever comes after this raid. But if we hold back, more missiles get through, more of Washington burns, more people die, more chance Emma's in the casualty count. We defend Washington. Full expenditure if necessary. The submarines become secondary priority. Sir, that's suicide. No, that's the job. We're here to protect the capital. That's what we do, even if it kills us. He stares at me, sees something in my face that makes him nod slowly. Aye, Captain. Full expenditure. He walks back to his station. I turn to the view part. Watch the distant glow that used to be Washington, D.C. Emma's in there somewhere, alive, dead, hurt, hiding, I don't know. Can't know, won't know, until this is over and I can get to shore and search through the rubble myself. If I survive that long. Captain, torpedo time to impact, 6 minutes, still tracking us, noisemakers aren't working. 6 minutes until a Russian torpedo hits supporter. Until it punches through our hull and the ocean pours in, and we find out if our damage control teams are good enough to save us, or if we join Roosevelt on the bottom. Maintain evasive. Vega, can we engage the torpedo with the 5-inch gun? Negative, sir. It's too deep, moving too fast. Gun can't track it. Can't shoot it, can't outrun it. Can only maneuver and hope and wait for impact. All hands brace for torpedo impact. Damage control teams to ready positions. This is not a drill. The one MC carries my voice throughout the ship. Down in the magazines, the engine rooms, the meth techs converted to casualty stations. 280 sailors hearing that in 6 minutes we might die. Some of them are praying. Some are checking equipment. Some are just standing there processing their own mortality. All of them are doing their jobs. Captain, third wave entering engagement range. Fighters are engaging. On the display, blue symbols race toward red ones. F-22s and F-35s out of missiles going close range with 20mm cannons, trying to gun down cruise missiles traveling at 500 knots. Trying to do the impossible because that's all that's left. Explosions blue on the display. Splash count 6, 7, 10. Fighters are getting kills. 10 missiles down, 90 down remaining. Ground defenses engaging. Patriot batteries firing from Andrews, Fort Meade, Arlington. The Patriot battery near Emma's neighborhood is throwing missiles at the incoming raid, defending her even though they don't know she exists. Defending everyone because that's the job. Splash count 23, 77 remaining. Better? Still not enough. Time to our engagement range? 3 minutes. 3 minutes until we start throwing our last 28 missiles at the raid. Until we commit everything and hope it's sufficient. Torpedo time to impact, 4 minutes.
The torpedo's gonna hit us before we can engage the missiles. We're gonna take damage, maybe catastrophic damage, right as we're trying to defend Washington from the largest raid yet. Perfect timing. For them. Captain Truxton reports torpedo impact. They're hit, taking on water, fires reported. Mason successfully evaded their torpedoes. Truxton's hit. That's another ship damaged, maybe sinking. Definitely not combat effective. which means fewer missiles in the defensive screen. Means more leakers reaching Washington. The math keeps getting worse. Status on remaining submarine contacts. Still tracking 3 unknowns, Sierra 8, 9, and 10. All submerged, running quiet. We've got probable locations, but not firing solutions. 3 more submarines out there, watching, waiting, picking their moment to strike while we're focused on the cruise missile defense. This is how they planned it. Multi-axis attacks, simultaneous threats, forcing us to choose what we defend and what we abandon. Forcing us to spread thin until we break. Smart, effective, brutal. All ships maintain track on those submarines. The moment they give us a shot, we take it. Aye, sir. Torpedo time to impact, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 120 seconds. I count them in my head, watching the tactical display show the torpedo symbol closing on our position. The bridge is silent, except for electronics hum and the sound of the ocean against the hull. Everyone's at their stations, braced, waiting. Webb's gripping his console. Vega's hands are steady on her weapons board. Kim's got his headphones pressed tight, listening to the torpedo that's about to kill us. Good true. Best I've ever served with. They deserve better than dying in the Atlantic before dawn while Washington burns. They deserve to go home. 1 minute, and I grip the railing. Can't do anything now except wait. Hope. Pray if you're into that. 30 seconds. The torpedo's close enough that Kim's tracking it on passive sonar. I can hear it through the speakers he's got open. A high-pitched whine, getting louder, closer, the sound of death approaching at 45 knots. 20 seconds. I close my eyes. Think about Emma. Think about her laugh, her smile, the way she used to fall asleep on my shoulder when she was small. Think about everything I'm fighting for. 10 seconds. The explosion, when it comes, isn't where I expected. It's behind us. Port side, maybe 200 yards away. A massive detonation that lifts a column of water higher than our mast. Report! Kim's staring at his display like it just spoke Latin. Sir, the torpedo, it detonated early. Something triggered it before it reached us. I'm reading. Captain, I'm picking up a new subsurface contact. Friendly signature. USS Virginia, sir. She's one of ours. Virginia. A nuclear attack submarine, running silent, watching the battle unfold. She must have positioned herself between us and the torpedo, used active sonar or a decoy to trigger it early, saved our lives. Get Virginia on underwater comms. Tell them thank you. They're acknowledging, sir. Virginia reports she's prosecuting Sierra 8 now. Recommend we focus on missile defense. Focus on missile defense, right? Because 100 missiles are still coming and we're at engagement range and we're out of time. All ships, weapons free. Engage with all available systems. The border shudders, Stanchard's blast from the VLS, 28 missiles in rapid succession climbing into the sky, racing toward the incoming raid. Around us, the other ships do the same. The ocean lights up with defensive fire, a constellation of missiles trying to save a city. First standards are engaging, splash count climbing, 30, 35, 42 kills. 42 kills, 58 missiles remaining. Continue firing everything we have. More standards launch. The magazine count drops. 28 becomes 20, becomes 15, becomes 10. We're Winchester on SM6, switching to SM2 for final engagements. The last long-range missiles. After these, we're down to short-range SSM'd, useless beyond 15 miles. We're Winchester on standards, magazine empty. Empty, we shot everything. Now it's up to the ground defenses and the short-range systems, and hope. Ground defenses engaging heavy fire from all batteries. The display shows it Patriot missiles launching from a dozen sites around Washington, intercepting, killing, stopping what they can. Splash count 85, 22 remaining. 22 missiles, getting closer. Entering the final defense zone where only gun systems can reach them. All ships engage with guns, point defense, anything you've got. The porter's 5-inch gun starts firing slow and deliberate, tracking targets on the horizon. Around us, other ships do the same. Fallon systems spin up, throwing walls of tungsten at missiles streaking overhead. Splash count 85, 15 remaining. 15 missiles. Seconds from impact, from hitting Washington, from maybe killing my daughter. 10 remaining. 5.
I watch the display. Watch the red symbols reach the heart of Washington. Watch them disappear as they connect with buildings, with streets, with people. Watch the city burn again.
Impact. Multiple impacts across Washington metro area. Preliminary reports show hits in Georgetown, Alexandria, Arlington, Capitol Hill, Anacostia.
Arlington. Another hit in Arlington. On top of the damage from the second wave, Emma's neighborhood just got hit again. I can't breathe, can't think. I can only stand there and process that my daughter is dead. Has to be dead. 2 cruise missile strikes in the same neighborhood. Nobody survives that. Captain, Virginia reports kill on Sierra 8. She's prosecuting Sierra 9 now. Virginia, still fighting. Still hunting submarines while Washington burns and my world collapses. Captain, we're getting casualty reports from Washington. Numbers are... Sir, they're saying at least 10,000 dead across all 3 strikes. Hospitals overwhelmed, infrastructure collapsing. They're requesting military assistance for disaster relief. 10,000 dead in 6 hours? In 3 cruise missile raids that we mostly stopped? Mostly. That word is the difference between defending successfully and failing catastrophically. We stopped 85 out of 100. Great performance by any metric. Except for the families of the 10,000 dead. Except for Emma. Webb's voice is quiet. Virginia is reporting all subsurface contacts destroyed or retreating. The submarine threat is neutralized. Neutralized. Military speak for we won. We killed them. We stopped them from sinking more ships. But Roosevelt is on the bottom. Truxton is burning. Washington is in ruins. We won, if you can call this winning. Any word on casualty counts from Arlington? Web checks. Nothing specific yet. Emergency services aren't responding in that area. Fires are out of control. They're saying it could be days before they get in to assess damage. Days. I don't have days. I need to know now. But I'm 18 miles offshore on a destroyer that just expended every missile it had. I'm not going anywhere. Captain, Northcom is broadcasting. Stand by for message from the President. The President. Addressing the nation after the worst attack on American soil since Pearl Harbor. Telling us what we already know. That we're at war, that people died, that we need to be strong. The radio crackles, static. Then a voice I recognize from press conferences in State of the Union addresses. My fellow Americans, early this morning, Russian forces launched a coordinated attack on our capital. 3 waves of cruise missiles struck Washington, D.C. and surrounding areas. The death toll is in the thousands. The destruction is catastrophic. But we are still here. We are still fighting, and we will not surrender. To our allies, we say this: stand with us. To our enemies, we say this: you have awakened a sleeping giant. This war will not end until victory is achieved. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. The transmission ends. Silence on the radio. Silence on the bridge. Silence except for the sound of the ocean and the distant rumble of Washington burning. I stand there, gripping the railing, watching the glow on the horizon, thinking about Emma, about Lisa Reeves, about the 10,000 dead, but the crew of Roosevelt on the bottom. About all of it. We held the line. We stopped most of the attack. We saved hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. But we couldn't save everyone. Couldn't save my daughter. The bridge phone rings. Webb answers it, listens, looks at me. Captain, it's for you. Shoreside Emergency Services. They're patching through to the ship. Shoreside? Who would call me now? I take the phone. Harris. A woman's voice, stressed but professional. Captain Harris, this is Arlington Emergency Services. We're calling about your daughter, Emma Harris. She's listed as your dependent. My heart stops. My hand shakes holding the phone. She's alive, sir. She's hurt, but alive. We pulled her from a collapsed apartment building 2 hours ago. She's at Arlington Memorial Hospital now, being treated for a broken arm and lacerations. She's asking for you. Alive? Emma's alive. The words don't process. Can't process. After 6 hours of thinking she was dead, of accepting it, of locking it away so I could do my job, she's alive. Captain Harris, are you there? I'm here. Thank you. Thank you. She's going to be okay, sir. She's tough, like her father. The line goes dead. I stand there, phone in my hand, not moving, not breathing, just processing the information that my daughter survived 2 cruise missile strikes and is in a hospital asking for me. Webb's watching. Sir, she's alive? Emma's alive. His face breaks into a smile. First genuine smile I've seen in 6 hours. That's incredible, sir. It is incredible. It's a miracle. It's the only good thing that's happened since this nightmare started. But 10,000 other families didn't get this call. 10,000 other daughters and sons and mothers and fathers are dead. Roosevelt is on the bottom with 252 crew. Truxton is burning. Washington is in ruins. We won the battle, but the war is just beginning. I look at Webb. Alert the crew. Stand down from general quarters. Maintain defensive posture, but allow crew rotation for rest. Coordinate with shoreside for disaster relief operations. We're staying on station. Aye, sir. And, sir, I'm glad Emma's okay. Thanks, Webb. He walks away. I turn back to the viewport, watch the sun rise over the Atlantic, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. Same colors as the fires burning in Washington. Emma's alive. That's what matters. That's what I fought for. But this war is far from over. And somewhere out there, in the Atlantic or the Pacific or some theater we haven't thought of yet, more threats are coming. More battles to fight. More chances to lose everything. I grip the railing and watch the dawn break. We held the line tonight at tremendous cost. Tomorrow, we'll have to do it again. They let me go ashore at 1400 hours. 12 hours after the attack started. 12 hours of watching Washington burn from 18 miles out. 12 hours of fighting and dying and somehow surviving when better people didn't. The helicopter ride takes 8 minutes. 8 minutes of flying over the Chesapeake, over the Virginia coast, over neighborhoods that look normal until you get close enough to see the craters, the collapsed buildings, the emergency vehicles swarming like ants over a wound. Arlington Memorial Hospital is chaos. Every bed full, hallways lined with gurneys, doctors and nurses moving a dead sprint between patients who are screaming or silent or somewhere in between. The smell hits you first. Blood and antiseptic and burned flesh and fear. I push through the crowd, still in my uniform, still carrying the weight of command. Even the Webb has the porter now. A nurse tries to stop me, says something about visiting hours. I show her my ID, tell her my daughter's here. She points to the 3rd floor, room 312, tells me to hurry because they're moving patients to other facilities as fast as they can. Room 312 is at the end of a hallway that smells like smoke. The door's open, I see her before I step inside, sitting up in bed, left arm in a cast, bandages on her face and neck, bruised, cut, covered in dust and dried blood. Alive. She sees me. Her face crumples. Dad! I'm across the room in 3 steps, pulling her into a hug, careful of the broken arm, not caring about anything except the fact that she's breathing and warm and here. She's sobbing into my shoulder. I'm probably crying too, but I don't care. For 12 hours I thought she was dead. For 12 hours I carried that weight while fighting a battle I couldn't afford to lose. She's alive. Nothing else matters. I've got you. I've got you. You're okay. You're safe. She pulls back. Looks at me with eyes that are too old for 14. Eyes that have seen things no kid should see. Dad, the building collapsed. Mom was in the kitchen when the missile hit. The whole west side just fell. I couldn't get to her. I tried, but I couldn't. Her mother, my ex-wife, Sarah. We divorced 6 years ago, but she was a good person, good mother. Didn't deserve to die in a collapsing apartment building while Russian missiles rained out. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. They pulled me out 2 hours later. Said I was lucky. She laughs, hollow and broken. 30 people in our building. They found 5 of us alive. 5? 25. Dead. In one building. In one neighborhood. Multiply that across the city, and you get the casualty counts that don't mean anything until they're your daughter telling you about her dead mother. You are lucky. You're alive. That's what matters. Is it over? The attack? Are they coming back? I want to lie. Want to tell her it's over. She's safe. Nothing bad will ever happen again. But she's 14, and she just survived a war coming to her doorstep. She deserves the truth. I don't know. We stopped 3 attacks, killed most of the missiles, but there could be more. We're still at war. It's not over. She nods slowly, processing. Your ship? The porter? Is it okay? We're okay. We took some damage, but we're still fighting. Lost some crew, but we're holding together. That's good. She looks at her broken arm. Doctor said 6 weeks for this to heal. Said I was lucky it was just the arm. Lucky. That word again. Lucky. The word you use when you survive and others don't. When you wake up in a hospital bed instead of a morgue, when your father shows up instead of emergency services with a folded flag. A doctor appears in the doorway. Young woman, Asian, exhausted beyond measure. Captain Harris? I'm Dr. Kim. I've been treating Emma. She's stable, but we're evacuating her to Richmond in 2 hours. The hospital here is overwhelmed, and we're expecting more casualties from ongoing rescue operations. Richmond? That's 2 hours away. I know, but it's the nearest facility with available beds. She'll be safe there. Better care than we can provide here. I look at Emma. She's scared. 14 years old. Just lost her mother. Broken arm. Being evacuated to a strange city while her father goes back to fighting. Can I stay with her until the evacuation? Dr. Kim checks her watch. You've got 90 minutes, then you'll need to leave or go with her to Richmond. 90 minutes. Not nearly enough, but more than I thought I'd get. Thank you, Doctor. She nods and disappears back into the hallway chaos. I turn to Emma, pull a chair close to the bed, sit down and take her hand. Tell me what happened from the beginning. She takes a breath. I was asleep. 04:30, maybe? Mom woke me up. Said there was an emergency broadcast. Said Russian missiles were incoming. We went to the bathroom. Smallest room in the apartment, supposed to be safest. We heard explosions. Far away at first, then closer, then the building shook. The walls cracked. Mom pushed me into the bathtub and covered me with her body. Then the ceiling came down. She stops, swallows, keeps going.
Everything went dark. I couldn't see, couldn't breathe. Mom was on top of me, but she wasn't moving. I tried to wake her, but she wouldn't. I squeeze her hand. It's okay, you don't have to. I need to say it so it's real. She looks at me. She was dead, Dad. Crushed by the ceiling. She saved me and died doing it, and I was trapped there for 2 hours with her body on top of me until the rescue teams dug us out. 2 hours. Trapped in darkness with their dead mother. 14 years old. Jesus Christ. You're the bravest person I know, Emma. Your mother would be proud. Would she? I couldn't save her. I just let her die. You survived. That's what she wanted. That's why she covered you. She made a choice, and you need to honor that choice by living, by being okay, by not blaming yourself for something you couldn't control. She's crying again, silent tears running down her bruised face. I don't know how to be okay after this. Neither do I, sweetheart. Neither do I. We sit there, father and daughter, both survivors of a war that came to our doorstep, both carrying weight that shouldn't exist. My phone buzzes. Text from Webb. Northcom reporting possible fourth wave. Russian bombers detected launching from Arctic bases. Estimated 200 cruise missiles inbound. ETA, 6 hours. All ships ordered to rearm and prepare for engagement. 200 missiles. 6 hours. And I'm sitting in a hospital room holding my daughter's head while my ship is offshore with empty magazines. Emma sees my face. You have to go back, don't you? Not yet. I've got 90 minutes. But there's another attack coming. I can see it in your face. Smart kid. Too smart. Can't hide anything from her. Yeah. Another attack coming. 6 hours out. I need to be back on the border before then. She nods. Understands. Military kid. Grew up with deployments and missed birthdays and the knowledge that duty comes first. It's okay, Dad. Go now. I'll be fine. I've got 90 minutes. I'm staying. No, she squeezes my hand. You need to go back and stop them. Stop the next attack so other kids don't lose the mothers, so other buildings don't collapse. That's more important than sitting here with me. Nothing is more important than you. Then go stop them for me. Go save other people's daughters. That's how you make this matter. That's how you make Mom's death matter. 14 years old. She's wiser than I'll ever be. I love you, Alma. More than anything. I love you too, Dad. Now go do your job. I stand up, lean down and kiss her forehead. I'll call you when I can, as soon as the attack is over. I know. Be safe. You too. Richmond is safe. You'll be okay there. I know. I walk to the door, turn back, look at her one more time. 14 years old. Broken arm, bruised face, eyes that have seen too much. Still the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. See you soon, sweetheart. See you soon, Dad. I walk out through the hallway of wounded. There's a lobby of families waiting for news about loved ones who might be dead. Through the parking lot where ambulances are still arriving with more casualties. The helicopter is waiting. Same pilot who brought me here. Young guy, maybe 25, trying to look professional while his hands shake on the controls. Ready to go, Captain? Yeah, let's go. The ride back is faster, 6 minutes instead of 8. Pushing the hella hard, racing the clock. Getting me back to the porter before the next wave hits. I can see the ship from 2 miles out. She looks different now. Lower in the water, listing slightly to starboard, where we took damage during the evasive maneuvers. Scorch marks in the hull where the missiles launched. The scars of battle. But still afloat. Still fighting. Still home. The helicopter touches down on the flight deck. I'm out before the rotor stops spinning, moving toward the superstructure heading for the bridge. Webb is waiting at the door. Captain, how's Emma? Alive, hurt but alive. They're evacuating her to Richmond. Good, that's good news, sir. Yeah. What's her status? We walk as he briefs. Unrep completed 40 minutes ago. We are fully rearmed, 96 standards in the VLS, full load of 5-inch ammunition. The other ships are in similar condition. Virginia and 3 other submarines have joined us, providing undersea screen.
Northcom estimates the fourth wave will reach engagement range in 5 hours. 5 hours to prepare for 200 missiles. 5 hours before we do this all over again. Casualty reports from Washington. Final count from the 3 attacks is 14,000 dead, 30,000 wounded. The Pentagon took significant damage. Capitol building partially collapsed. The White House survived, but the West Wing is destroyed. They're moving government operations to alternate facilities.
14,000 dead in 12 hours in one city. The numbers are so large they stop meaning anything. What's the plan for the fourth wave? Northcom is coordinating a layered defense. B-2 bombers launching from Missouri to intercept the Russian bomber formation before they release. F-22s and F-35s forming an outer defensive ring. Ground-based interceptors on standby. We're the final layer, same as before. Same as before. We stop what leaks through. Yes, sir. We reach the bridge, the crews at stations, monitoring displays, preparing for the next engagement. They look exhausted, hollow-eyed, running on adrenaline and caffeine, and the will to keep fighting because stopping means dying. Captain on the bridge. I move to the command chair, sit down, feel the weight settle back onto my shoulders. The responsibility, the knowledge that in 5 hours we do it all again. And maybe this time, we don't survive. Webb, I need you to do something for me. I pull out a paper from my pocket. Folded letter I wrote during the helicopter ride back. If I don't make it through the next attack, I need you to make sure Emma gets this. She's being evacuated to Richmond Memorial Hospital. Can you do that? He takes the letter, looks at it like it weighs 1,000 pounds. Can you do that? Yes, sir. I'll make sure she gets it. I turn to the tactical display. Shows our position, the task force spread across 40 miles of ocean. The distant glow of Washington still visible on the horizon. The threat axis where 200 missiles will appear in 5 hours. All hands, this is the captain. I key the 1MC. We've got 5 hours before the next attack. 200 missiles this time, twice what we faced before. Northcom thinks this is the big one, the knockout blow, the attack that's supposed to finish Washington and break our will to fight. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stand here in these waters and we're going to throw everything we have at those missiles. And we're going to stop them, same as before, same as we've been doing for 12 hours, because that's the job. Because 14,000 Americans died today, and we owe them. We owe them everything. So get some rest if you can, eat something, check your gear, say your prayers if that helps, and then we stand watch one more time. Clear? Responses filter back, quieter than before, but still there. Clear, sir. Aye, Captain. Let's finish this. I drop the handset. Look at Webb. Wake me in 4 hours. I need sleep. You're sleeping now? If I don't sleep, I'll be useless when the attack comes. Wake me at 1800 hours. You have the con. Aye, sir. I have the con. I walk to my cabin. Small space, barely large enough for a bed and desk. I've been living here for 3 months, running patrols, training exercises, preparing for a war that was always theoretical until 12 hours ago. Now it's real. Now people are dead. Now my ex-wife is dead, and my daughter is at a hospital, and my ship is damaged, and Washington is burning. And in 4 hours, we do it again. I lie down on the bed, close my eyes, try to sleep. Can't sleep. Keep seeing Emma's face. Keep hearing her voice. Keep thinking about Sarah covering Emma with her body as the ceiling came down. Keep thinking about the 25 other people in that building who died. Keep thinking about Lisa Reeves on the Roosevelt. Keep thinking about all of it. The dead don't stay dead. They follow you, want you, demand that you justify why you survived and they didn't. I don't have an answer. Don't know if there is an answer. Just know that I'm here and they're not. And that has to mean something. Has to. I must sleep eventually because Webb is shaking me awake. and the clock shows 1800 hours. I sit up. My body aches. Shoulder throbs from where I hit the console during the evasive maneuvers. Head pounds from 12 hours of stress and fear and the knowledge that it's about to start again. Status: Northcom reports the Russian bomber formation launched 90 minutes ago. 200 cruise missiles confirmed through 3 hours out. Our B-2s engaged the bombers, but only got 5 before the rest escaped back across the Arctic. Fighters are positioning for intercept. Our status: fully armed, all systems green. Task force is in position. Virginia reports the subsurface screen is clear, no hostile contacts. We're as ready as we're going to be. As ready as we're going to be. Which isn't very ready. We're exhausted, damaged, running on fumes. But we're all that stands between 200 missiles and Washington. So we stand. I walk back to the bridge, take my position at the command chair, look at the tactical display showing the threat axis. 3 hours until the missiles arrive. 3 hours until we find out if we can do it again. If we can stop another massive raid with ships that are already at the breaking point. 3 hours until we find out if we survive. I think about Emma in Richmond, safe, away from the fighting, away from the death. I think about the letter in Webb's pocket. The letter that tells her I love her, that I'm proud of her, that she needs to be strong and live and not let this war destroy her. The letter she'll only get if I die. I pick up the 1MC. One more time. One more speech to keep the crew together. All hands, this is the captain. 3 hours until the fourth wave arrives. I know you're tired. I know you're scared. I know some of you are thinking this is impossible. 200 missiles against what we have. The math doesn't work. But here's what I know. We stopped 3 waves already. We saved hundreds of thousands of people. We held the line when everyone said we couldn't. So we're going to do it one more time. We're going to stand here and fight and kill every missile we can reach. And when it's over, when Washington is still standing, we're going to know we did something that mattered. Something that will be remembered. So rest now. Prepare. And when the time comes, we fight. Together. As a crew. As Americans. Clear? The responses come back stronger this time. Aye, Captain. Let's do this. For Roosevelt. For Roosevelt. For Lisa Reeves and 252 crew on the bottom. For Sarah Harris crushed in a collapsing building. For 14,000 dead in Washington. For Emma safe in Richmond. For all of it, we fight. The hours pass slowly. Crew rotates through the galley, grabbing food. Damage control teams check their gear. Weapons techs run final diagnostics on the VLS cells. Everyone doing their jobs, preparing for what's coming. I stay on the bridge, watching the display, watching the time tick down, thinking about everything that led to this moment. At 2:04 hours, the alarm sounds. Captain, air search. Multiple contacts bearing 270 range, 350 miles. High altitude, high speed. Count is, sir, Northcom confirms 200 inbound cruise missiles. 200. The largest rig yet. The knockout blow. Here we go. One more time. One last stand. Alert the task force. Weapons free, all systems engage. Let's finish this. The Porter's radar goes active. The VLS souls repair to fire. The crew mans their stations. And somewhere 350 miles away,
200 Russian cruise missiles streak toward Washington at 500 knots, toward my daughter's city, toward everything we're fighting for. Time to engagement. 25 minutes. 25 minutes to save a city. 25 minutes to prove we can do the impossible. I grip the command chair and watch the display update. The missiles are coming. We're ready. Let's dance.
The missiles hit the outer defense zone at 2110 hours. I watch it unfold on the tactical display. 200 red symbols converging on Washington from the northeast. Blue symbols racing out to meet them. F-22s and F-35s, already exhausted from 3 previous engagements, going back into the fight because there's nobody else. First intercepts. Fighters are engaging with guns. Splash count: 4, 6, 9. 9 missiles down, 191 to go. The math is brutal. Even if every fighter gets 3 kills before their Winchester, we're looking at maybe 30, 40 splashes. Leaves 160 getting through to us. Against 96 standards per ship, 5 ships still combat effective? Call it 480 missiles total across the task force. The math almost works. Almost. Ground defenses going active. Patriot batteries firing. More blue symbols on the display. SAMs launching from a dozen sites around Washington. Each one a last-ditch attempt to stop a missile that's already survived the fighter screen. Splash count: 27. 173 remaining. Better. Still not enough. Never enough. Time to our engagement range. Web checks his display. 18 minutes. They'll enter our zone after they pass the Rappahannock River defenses. 18 minutes. I watch the symbols crawl across the screen. Watch the fighters make another pass, guns blazing, trying to kill a few more before they run dry. Splash count: 38, 162 remaining. My phone buzzes. Text from Emma. Saw the news. They're saying another attack coming. Be safe, Dad. I love you. I stare at the message. She's in Richmond. Supposed to be resting, recovering. Instead, she's watching the news, watching the war come for her father again. I type back, love you too. Stay safe. This will be over soon. Another lie. This won't be over soon. Even if we stop this attack, there'll be another, and another, until one side quits or runs out of weapons or decides the cost is too high. Captain, Northcom update. They're reporting additional launches from submarine platforms. 30-plus missiles from undersea, bearing 090, range 200 miles. 30 more missiles, on top of the 200 already inbound. The Russians are stacking the raid, adding threats faster than we can kill them. 230 missiles total now, against 480 defensive missiles if everyone performs perfectly. The math is breaking down. Alert the task force. Update threat count: 230 inbound. Adjust firing solutions accordingly. Aye, sir. Vega appears at my side. Captain, if we're facing 230 targets, we need to conserve ammunition. Recommend we hold back 20% of our magazine for follow-on threats. She's right. Tactically, sound advice. Hold back reserves, maintain defensive capability, don't shoot yourself dry on the first raid, because there's always another raid. But if we hold back, more missiles get through. More of Washington burns, more people die, more chance Richmond gets hit and Emma dies after surviving 3 attacks. Negative. Full expenditure. We stop this raid with everything we have. Sir, that leaves us defenseless for whatever comes next. There won't be a next. This is the big one. They're throwing everything at us. We stop it here or we lose Washington. No holdbacks. Full commitment. She stares at me, sees something in my face that makes her nod. Aye, Captain. Full expenditure. The splash count climbs. 45, 52, 61, 169 remaining. Fighters are Winchester, breaking off.
Ground defense is still engaging. The fighters did their job. Killed maybe 40, 50 missiles with guns alone. Insane tactics, but they worked. Now they're limping back to base. Out of ammunition, out of fuel, out of fight. Leaves us. Time to our engagement, 12 minutes. 12 minutes until we start shooting. Until we throw 480 missiles at 169 threats. Until we find out if it's enough. Captain, Virginia reports subsurface contacts. Multiple Russian submarines detected in the southern approach. Down as 8, possibly 9 boats. They're positioning between us and the coast. Smart. Effective. Exactly what I'd do if I wanted to guarantee the raid succeeds. Can Virginia cross a guild? She's engaging 2 of them now, but there are too many. She can't stop them all. Can't stop them all. Which means some of those submarines are going to get torpedoes in the water, going to force us to defend against underwater threats while cruise missiles rain down from above. Multi-axis attack. Simultaneous threats. The Russians are executing this perfectly. Alert the task force. Submarine threat is secondary priority. Focus on cruise missile defense. If the submarines launch, we evade and continue the mission. Aye, sir. Webb looks at me. If we ignore the submarines, we'll probably die, I know. But if we focus on the submarines, Washington definitely burns. That's the choice. Die trying to save the city or survive by abandoning it. I choose dying. Understood, sir.
The tactical display updates. Shows the submarines spreading out, shows the cruise missiles getting closer, shows our ships positioned between the 2 threats. We're caught in a vice. Submarines below, missiles above. Nowhere to run, no good choices, just the job and the knowledge that we're probably not walking away from this. Splash count 74, 156 remaining. Ground defenses are doing good work, chewing through the raid. Not fast enough. Time to engagement, 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I look around the bridge, my crew at their stations, faces grim, determined, scared. They know what's coming. They know the odds. They're staying anyway. All hands, this is the captain. I key the 1MC one last time. We're 8 minutes from engagement. 156 missiles inbound. 9 submarines in the water. We're outnumbered, outgunned, and probably not surviving this. But we're going to fight anyway. Because that's what we do, because Washington is behind us and our families are counting on us, and we don't get to quit just because it's hard. So stand your posts, do your jobs, and when this is over, we'll know we did something that mattered. Clear? The responses are immediate, stronger than before. Clear, sir. Let's kill these bastards! For Emma! For Emma. Someone heard about my daughter? Spread it through the ship? Now they're fighting for her. For a 14-year-old girl they have never met, who survived 3 attacks and deserves to survive a 4th. I feel something crack in my chest. For these people who are willing to die for my daughter. Thank you. All of you. Now let's finish this. Captain, we're at engagement range. Request permission to fire. Weapons free. All ships engage. Maximum rate of fire. Kill everything. The porter shudders as the first standards blast from the VLS cells. One after another, rapid fire, the entire magazine emptying in less than 2 minutes. Around us, the other destroyers do the same. The ocean explodes with light, missiles climbing into the night sky, leaving trails of fire like reverse shooting stars. Beautiful. Our last throw of the dice. Standards engaging, thirst kills in 30 seconds. I watch the display. Our missiles and theirs converging. Blue symbols racing toward red ones. The range closes. Splash count 89, 141 remaining. 15 kills in the first salvo. Good start. We're getting better at this. Learning, adapting, killing. Not fast enough, though. Never fast enough. Continue firing. I want everything in the air. More missiles launch. The magazine count drops. 96 becomes 70, becomes 50, becomes 30. Splash count 112, 118 remaining. We're killing them. Chewing through the raid. But they're still coming. Still closing on Washington. Captain, Sierra 11 is launching. Torpedo in the water, bearing 285, range 15 miles, targeting the Carney. One of the submarines fired.
Going after Carney while we're focused on the missile defense. Alert Carney. Tell him torpedo inbound. They acknowledge. Going evasive. On the display, I watched Carney's symbol start maneuvering, but she's still firing standards, still engaged with the cruise missile raid. She's trying to do both. Evade the torpedo and defend Washington. Can't do both. Nobody can. Splash got 136, 94 remaining. 94 missiles. Getting closer. Entering the final defense zone.
We're Winchester on SM-6, switching to SM-2. The last long-range interceptors. After these, we're down to short-range ESSMs and guns. Continue firing everything. Sierra 12 and 13 are launching multiple torpedoes in the water. Count is 6 weapons targeting task force. More submarines joining the fight. 6 torpedoes spreading out, hunting for American destroyers. Evasive maneuvers, deploy noisemakers, continue firing standards. The Porter heels as we maneuver. Noisemakers splash into the water. The ship turns, accelerates, trying to get away from the torpedoes while still maintaining position to engage the missiles. Can't do both, but we're trying anyway. Splash count 158, 72 remaining. 72 missiles. We're winning. Actually winning. The math is finally working in our favor. Captain, torpedo impact on Carney. She's hit, taking on water. Another ship damaged, another crew fighting to save their vessel while the raid continues. Status on Carney. They're reporting flooding in 2 compartments, listed 6 degrees. Still fighting, but combat effectiveness degraded. Degraded means fewer missiles in the defensive screen, means more leakers reaching Washington. Splash count 163, 67 remaining. 67 missiles. We're close. So close to stopping this. Continue firing. Don't let up. Phalanx mounts spin up across the fleet, that chainsaw roar, throwing walls of tungsten at missiles streaking overhead. Desperate, last-ditch defense when everything else has failed. 185, 45 remaining. 45 missiles getting past us, heading for the ground defenses, heading for Washington, heading for Emma City. Ground defenses engaging heavy fire from old Patriot batteries. The last line, the final defense, everything between those missiles and the city. 192, 38 remaining. 38 out of 230. We stopped 83%. Incredible performance. In any simulation, that's a victory. In reality, it means 38 missiles are about to hit Washington. Impact in 30 seconds. I watched the display, watched the red symbols reach the heart of the city, watch them merge with the ground, watch them disappear, watch Washington burn again. Multiple impacts across metro area. Preliminary reports show hits in Georgetown, Bethesda, Silver Spring, Alexandria, Pentagon City. Roslyn, right across the river from Georgetown, close to where Emma's apartment was, close to where Sarah died. Not Richmond, though. Richmond wasn't hit. Emma's safe. Captain, torpedo impact. We're hit. The explosion is massive. Port side, below the waterline. The border heaves sideways, throwing me against the railing. Alarm scream. Emergency lighting kicks in as main power fails. I pull myself up, taste blood. My shoulder is screaming where I hit the railing, but everything still works. Damage report. Webb's at his station, blood running down his face from a cut above his eye. Checking. We've got flooding in 3 compartments. Fire in the forward magazine. Main power is down, running on emergency generators. Listed 9 degrees and increasing. 9 degrees. We're going over. Same as Roosevelt, same as Carney. Damage control teams respond. Seal those compartments. Get the fires out. Engineering, I need power. The 1MC crackles with responses. Damage control teams moving. Engineers working. Sailors fighting to save the ship. But I can feel it. The Porter is dying. Taking on water faster than the pumps could handle. Listing more every minute. We've got maybe 20 minutes before we have to give the order to abandon ship. 20 minutes left to fight. Captain, Virginia reports she's sunk 3 submarines, but the others are retreating. Assess subsurface threat is over. Over. The submarines are leaving. Either because they accomplished their mission or because Virginia scared them off.
Doesn't matter. The damage is done. Carney is crippled. We're sinking. The task force is broken. Status on the other ships. Truxton is still fighting. Mason took a near miss, but she's operational. Captain Carney is capsizing. They're abandoning ship. Going down. Just like Roosevelt. 2 destroyers lost in 18 hours. How many crew? 600 between the 2 ships? How many survived? How many are drowning right now in the Atlantic while I stand here bleeding on my dying bridge? Alert Mason. Tell them prosecute SAR for Carney survivors. We're too damaged to help. Aye, sir. The list increases. 10 degrees now. Deck tilting beneath my feet. Water rushing in below. Filling compartments, pulling us down. Captain, we need to abandon ship. We're losing the fight. Another 5 minutes and we won't be able to get the crew off. Webb's right. I know he's right. The order is finished. Done. We need to get the crew into the water before the ship takes them down. But I don't want to. Don't want to admit defeat. Don't want to leave this ship that's been home for 3 months. Don't want to add my name to the list of captains who lost their vessels. The radio crackles. All stations, this is Northcom. The 4th wave is neutralized. We assess no further attacks imminent. The immediate threat to Washington is over. Repeat, the threat is over. All ships are ordered to render assistance to damaged vessels and commence SAR operations. The threat is over. We won. We stopped 4 waves. Killed 300 plus missiles. Saved Washington from complete destruction. And it cost us 2 destroyers, over 1,000 sailors, and 25,000 civilians. Some victory. All hands, this is the captain. Abandon ship. I say again, abandon ship. This is not a drill. All personnel to life rafts, go now. Crew moves. Fast, disciplined, professional. They've trained for this. Hoped it would never happen, but trained anyway. Now it's real. Now they're abandoning the border in the middle of the Atlantic at night, with the ship listing and fires burning and the ocean waiting to swallow anyone who's too slow. Webb, get the crew off. I'll be right behind you. Captain, you need to go now. I'll be right behind you. Go. Stares at me. Knows what I'm thinking. Knows I'm planning to stay. Sir, don't do this. Don't go down with this ship. That's not heroic. It's stupid. The letter for Emma, you still have it? Yes, but then you've done your job. Now go. Get the crew to safety. That's an order. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out the letter, holds it for a moment, then puts it back. No, sir. That's insubordination. Court-martial me. I'm not leaving without you. Stubborn bastard. Good officer. Exactly the kind of person who should survive this war. Fine. We go together. But we're the last off. Clear? Clear, sir. We move through the ship, checking compartments, making sure everyone's out. The list is 12 degrees now, making it hard to walk. Water is ankle deep in some passageways, rushing in through cracks and holes and damaged seals. Porter is groaning. Deep, metallic sounds, the sound of the ship dying. We reach the main deck. Life rafts are in the water, filled with crew. I count them. 8 rafts, 30 people per raft. Call it 240 out of 280 crew. Where are the other 40? Webb, sound off. Full crew count. He works his radio. Then check in. Captain, we're missing 42 personnel. Damage control teams in the forward section, engineering teams below. They're not responding. Not responding, which means trapped. Which means dead or dying in flooded compartments below the waterline. We need to go get them. Sir, the ship's going down. We don't have time. We don't leave people behind. That's not how this works. I head for the next hatch. Webb grabs my arm. Sir, if you go down there, you die.
The ship goes under in 5 minutes. You can't save them and get back in 5 minutes. I can try. You can die pointlessly. Sir, they're gone. You know they're gone. Don't add yourself to the casualty list. Emma needs you. Emma? Right. Emma in Richmond. Safe. Waiting for me to call and tell her I'm okay. Can't call if I'm dead. I look at the hatch, thinking about the 42 sailors below. Trapped. Waiting for rescue that's not coming. I look at Webb, at the life rafts, at the crew on the water waiting for their captain. Some choices you make. Some choices make you. Get everyone to the rafts. I'm going down. Sir, that's not a request. Get them clear. You're in command now. Take care of them.
I pull open the hatch before he can argue. Drop down the ladder into darkness and rising water and the knowledge that I'm probably not coming back up. The passageway is flooded to waist level. Emergency lights flicker. The list is worse down here. 15 degrees, making it hard to keep footing. I move forward, toward the damage control station where the missing crew should be. Anyone hear me? This is the captain. Sound off. Silence. Just the sound of water rushing and metal groaning. I push deeper. The water's chest level now. Cold. Pulling at me, trying to drag me down. Sound off. Where are you? A voice, faint. Captain, forward damage control. We're trapped. I move toward the voice. Find a hatch that's jammed shut. Pry at it. Won't budge. How many of you? 12, sir. Water's coming in fast. We can't hold much longer. 12 people, trapped behind a jammed hatch in a compartment that's flooding. I pull harder. The hatch moves slightly, not enough. Help me! Push from your side! They push. I pull. The hatch groans, shifts, open 6 inches. Not enough for a person, but enough to reach through. One at a time, squeeze through! The first sailor comes through. Young kid, 20 years old, scared out of his mind, but alive. I push him toward the ladder. Go! Get topside! The second sailor follows, then the third. The water's rising, neck level now. The ship is going down and we're running out of time. Fourth sailor, fifth, sixth. The list increases to 20 degrees. The ship is rolling, going over. Maybe 2 minutes left. Seventh sailor, eighth, ninth. 3 more to go. The water's at my chin. I'm standing on tiptoe to keep my head above it. 10th sailor, 11. 1 more. The last one. She comes through the gap, female sailor, petty officer, bleeding from a head wound. I grab her, push her toward the ladder. Go, climb! She climbs. I follow. The water is over my head now. I'm climbing blind, feeling for the ladder rungs, lungs burning, knowing I'm not going to make it. My hand finds the top of the ladder. I pull myself up, break the surface, gasp for air. Webb's there, reaching down, pulling me up and out. Got you, sir. Come on. We run for the rail. The porter is rolling fast now, 25 degrees, almost on her side. The life rafts are pulling away, getting clear. We jump, hit the water hard. Cold punches through my uniform, steals my breath. I surface, look for Webb. He's there, 10 feet away, swimming toward the nearest raft. I follow, strong strokes, fighting the current, fighting the suction of the sinking ship. Hands grab me, pull me into the raft. I collapse, gasping, shivering. Everyone clear? Count off. The crew counts. 280 sailors, all accounted for. We saved them all, every single one. I turn to watch the porter. She's on her side now, showing her keel, red hull paint visible in the darkness. Beautiful, even in death. She slides under, bow first, then the superstructure, then the stern. Gone in less than 30 seconds. Just bubbles and debris and the sound of the ocean claiming another ship. The USS Porter gone. I sit in the raft, surrounded by my crew, all of us alive, all of us survivors of the battle that caused 2 ships and over 1,000 sailors. But we won. We stopped the attacks. We saved Washington. And Emma's safe in Richmond. That has to be enough. It has to be.
They pull us from the water at 0230 hours. The USS Mason comes alongside our life rafts, nets down, crew helping haul us aboard one by one. 280 sailors, soaked, freezing, exhausted beyond measure. Some wounded, some in shock. All of us alive when we shouldn't be. I'm the last one up. Captain's privilege. Make sure everyone else is safe before you save yourself. Mason's captain meets me on deck. Commander Robert Chen, good officer. Ran patrols with him 6 months back. He looks at me like I'm a ghost. Harris, heard you went down with the porter. Almost. Changed my mind at the last second. Good call. Your crew's in the mess deck. Medical's checking them over. You should get looked at too. I glance down. My uniform is torn, soaked with seawater and blood. Not sure how much of the blood is mine. My shoulders screaming, head pounding, ribs feel cracked. But I'm standing. That's more than Roosevelt's crew can say. I will. First, I need to check on my people. Understood. Mess deck is forward, 2 decks down. I head below. The Mason is cramped, crowded with her own crew plus 280 porter survivors. Every flat surface has someone sitting or lying on it. Medics moving through, treating wounds, checking vitals, doing triage in a space that was never designed for this. My crew sees me. Someone shouts, "Captain's here!" And suddenly they're all standing, applauding. Some crying, some just staring like they can't believe we're all alive. I don't deserve applause. I lost my ship, barely saved my crew, watched 2 other destroyers go down. 25,000 civilians dead because I wasn't good enough to stop every missile. But they're clapping anyway. Because we survived. Because all 280 of us are here, when Roosevelt only saved 48 out of 300. At ease. Sit down. Save your energy. They sit down. I move through the space, checking on people. Webb's got a nasty cut in his forehead, 12 stitches, but he's grinning like an idiot. Vega's arm is in a sling, dislocated shoulder. Kim has a broken wrist and burns on his hands from a fire he helped fight below decks. All of them alive. All of them looking at me like I did something heroic when all I did was survive. I find a quiet corner, sit down with my back against the bulkhead, close my eyes, just for a moment, just to rest. Rep appears, holds out a phone. "Captain, call for you. Emergency services from Richmond." "Richmond? Emma?" I take the phone like it's alive. Grenade. "Harris. Captain Harris, this is Richmond Memorial Hospital. Your daughter Emma asked us to call. She's stable, but she wanted to hear your voice. Put her on." A click, static, then Emma's voice, small and scared. "Dad? I'm here, sweetheart. I'm okay. The porter's gone, but I'm okay. Everyone made it off. She saw the news. They said 2 more destroyers sunk. I was so scared it was you. It almost was, but we got lucky. How are you doing? How's the arm? It hurts. Everything hurts. But I'm alive. That's what matters, right? That's all that matters." Silence in the line. Just the sound of her breathing. "Dad, when's this boy the end? When could I come home?" "Home? What home? Her apartment building is rubble. Her mother is dead. Washington is a disaster zone. Where exactly is home anymore? I don't know, sweetheart. But I'm coming to Richmond as soon as they let me off the ship. We'll figure it out together. Okay? Okay? I love you, Dad. I love you too. More than anything. Get some rest. I'll see you soon." The line goes dead. I sit there holding the phone, staring at nothing, processing everything that just happened in 18 hours. 4 cruise missile attacks. 330 missiles launched. We stopped 83%. Lost 2 destroyers. 3 if Truxton doesn't make it. Over 1,000 sailors dead. 25,000 civilians. Emma's mother, Lisa Reeves, so many people gone. But we held the line. We stopped the knockout blow. Washington is damaged but still standing. The government is still functioning. The war continues. Webb sits down next to me. Hands me a cup of coffee that tastes like motor oil. "I heard you talking to Emma. She okay?" "Broken arm. Nightmares, probably.
but alive. That's more than most families can say. You did good, Captain. Saved the crew, saved Washington. That's something. I lost my ship. You saved your crew. Every single one. When's the last time that captain can say that after the ship went down? Roosevelt saved 48 out of 300. Carnegie got maybe 70 out of 280. You got all of us. That's not losing. That's winning. Doesn't feel like winning. Feels like surviving by inches while better people died. Webb that letter. The one for Emma. I'm going to need it back. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a soggy waterlogged envelope. The ink is run, paper disintegrating. Barely recognizable as a letter anymore. Sorry, sir. Saltwater got it. I don't think it's readable. I take it anyway. Hold it for a moment. The letter I wrote thinking I was going to die. Telling Eva to be strong. Live her life, not let the war destroy her. Guess I get to tell her in person now. Thanks for not leaving without me. You're welcome, sir. Though for the record, I still think going below was stupid. Probably. But we got everyone out.
Yes, we did. Commander Chan appears in the doorway. Harris, we've got orders. Mason is detaching from the task force, heading to Norfolk for repairs and the offload survivors. You and your crew will transfer to shore facilities there. After that, you're on medical leave, pending Board of Inquiry. Board of Inquiry. Standard procedure when a captain loses his ship. They'll investigate, determine if I made the right calls, decide if I'm responsible for the porter going down. I probably am responsible. Made the choice to focus on the cruise missiles instead of the submarines. Made the choice to expend all our defensive missiles, leaving us vulnerable. Made the choice to stand and fight when retreat might have saved the ship. Made all the choices that kept Washington standing at the cost of my vessel. Understood. When do we reach Norfolk? 8 hours. Get some rest, Harris. You look like hell. Feel like hell, too. He leaves. I sit there with the coffee and the ruined letter and the weight of 18 hours pressing down on my chest. Webb's watching me. Captain, what you said to Emma about figuring it out together, you mean that? Because you've got 280 sailors who just lost their ship, who are going to need a new assignment, new orders, new direction. And they're going to look to you for that, even after the Board of Inquiry, especially after the Board of Inquiry. Webb, the Navy's not going to give me another command. I lost my ship. Career is over. You saved your entire crew during the largest coordinated attack on American soil in 80 years. You think the Navy's going to fire you for that? They're going to pin another medal on you and put you right back in the fight. Another medal? Another piece of metal to hang on my dress uniform. Another reminder of the people who died while I survived. I don't want another medal. I want my ship back. I want Lisa Reeves alive. I want Emma's mother alive. I want those 25,000 people in Washington alive. I want to wake up and find out this was all a nightmare. Me too, sir. Me too. We sit in silence. The mess deck is quiet now. Sailors sleeping, exhausted beyond measure. Some crying quietly, some staring at nothing, processing their own survival. My phone buzzes. Text from Northcom. Russian forces have withdrawn from immediate approach to U.S. waters. Assess immediate threat to East Coast is over. Chinese forces in Pacific report similar withdrawal. Both nations broadcasting willingness to negotiate ceasefire. Presidential address scheduled for 0800 hours. Ceasefire. After 18 hours of hell, after 4 waves of missiles, after 25,000 dead, after 2 destroyers sunk, now they want to talk. I should feel relief, feel victory, feel something positive. I feel nothing. Just numb, just empty, just the weight of everything we lost pressing down until I could barely breathe. That Board of Inquiry, they're going to ask me if I do anything differently, if I make different choices. What are you going to tell them? I don't know. Tactically, we did everything right. Followed doctrine, executed the mission, achieved the objective. We saved Washington.
but it cost us 2 ships and over 1,000 sailors. How do you justify that? How do you tell those families that their sailors died for the greater good? You tell them the truth, that their sailors stood between America and destruction, that they fought and died with honor, that without them, tens of thousands more would be dead. You tell them it mattered. Does it matter? We stopped 4 attacks. What about the 5th, the 6th? How many more attacks before we run out of ships and missiles and sailors willing to die? I don't know, sir. But that's a problem for tomorrow. Today, we survived. That's enough. Survived. That word again. The word that separates the living from the dead. The word that should mean something, but feels hollow. I drain the coffee. Stand up. My body protests. Everything hurts, but I force myself to move. I'm going topside. Get some air. You should sleep. You should sleep too, Captain. I climb the ladders to the weather deck, step outside into the cold March air. The sun is rising, painting the sky in shades of orange and red, same colors as the fires in Washington 18 hours ago. The ocean is calm now, gray and peaceful. You would never know a battle was fought here. Never know 2 destroyers went to the bottom. Never know over 1,000 people died in these waters. The ocean doesn't care. It takes and gives without judgment, without remembering, without caring about the human drama that plays out on its surface. I wish I could be like that. Forget, move on, not carry the weight of every decision and every consequence. But I'm human. I remember. I carry. That's the burden of command. That's the price of survival. Mason's heading west toward Norfolk. Behind us, the task force is reforming. Truxton still afloat, limping but fighting. Virginia and the other submarines maintaining undersea screen. What's left of Destroyer Squadron 22 holding the line against threats that might not come again. Or might come tomorrow. We don't know. Can't know. Can only prepare and hope and fight when we have to. My phone buzzes again. Emma. News says ceasefire talk starting. Does that mean you're coming home? Home. There's that word again. I text back. Soon, sweetheart. I'll be in Norfolk in 8 hours. Then I'm coming to Richmond. We'll figure out what home means. Together. 3 dots appear. Thank you for not dying, Dad. Thank you for not dying either. I put the phone away. Stand at the rail, watching the sunrise over the Atlantic. Thinking about everything we lost and everything we saved. The Porter is gone. Lisa Reeves is gone. Sarah Harris is gone. Over 1,000 sailors gone. 25,000 civilians gone. But Emma's alive. My crew is alive. Washington still stands. America still fights. That has to mean something. Has to be worth the cost. The door behind me opens. Webb appears. 2 fresh cups of coffee. Hands me one. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't stop thinking. Yeah, me neither. We stand there. Captain and XO. Friends. Survivors. Watching the sun rise on a day we weren't sure we'd see. When they give me another command, I want you with me, if you're willing. Always, sir. Where you go, I go. Even if it means more days like yesterday. Especially if it means more days like yesterday. Someone needs to keep you from going down with your ship. I almost smile. Almost. Anytime, Captain. Commander Chen appears on deck. Face grim. Harris, Webb, you need to see this. He leads us to the bridge. Points to the radar display. My stomach drops. Captain, Northcom just updated. The ceasefire broadcast was fake. Russian disinformation. There's a 5th wave launching now from submarine platforms in the Atlantic. Estimated 150 cruise missiles, but that's not the worst part. What's the worst part? They're not targeting Washington this time. They're targeting Norfolk. Every naval facility on the East Coast. They want to destroy our ability to defend the Atlantic seaboard. And sir, the missiles are targeting civilian infrastructure too. Hospitals, schools, power plants. Richmond.
Richmond Memorial Hospital is on the target list. High-value civilian target, maximum psychological impact. They're going to hit Emma's hospital. Time to impact? 4 hours. Maybe less. 4 hours. Emma's in Richmond, in a hospital that's about to be hit by Russian cruise missiles, and I'm 8 hours away on a ship that's heading in the wrong direction. Webb looks at me. Capt, get me Northcom. Get me anyone who can redirect the ship. We need to get to Richmond now. Chen shakes his head. Harris, Webb, the Mason is the only combat-effective destroyer left. We're needed for Norfolk defense. We can't abandon station to protect one hospital. That's my daughter in that hospital. That's 14-year-old kids and wounded civilians and people who can't defend themselves. We have to do something. We are doing something. We're defending Norfolk. That's the mission. He's right. Tactically, strategically, by every measure that matters in warfare, he's absolutely right. But it's Emma, my daughter, the only family I have left. Chen, how many missiles are targeting Richmond specifically? Intelligence estimates 12, maybe 15. 12 to 15 missiles against one city, against one hospital, against my daughter. What defenses does Richmond have? 2 Patriot batteries, some National Guard units with man-pads. Not much. Richmond wasn't considered a high-value target until now. Not enough. Nowhere near enough to stop 12 missiles. Webb, get on the radio. Contact Richmond Medical. Tell them to evacuate. Get everyone out of that hospital. Captain, they've got hundreds of patients. Some can't be moved. They'll never evacuate everyone in 4 hours. Emma's in the cast. She can move, but how many others can't? How many people are going to die because they're too injured to evacuate? My phone rings. I answer. Sweetheart, they're evacuating the hospital. They're saying missiles are coming. They're trying to get everyone out, but there's not enough ambulances. They're asking families to come get people if they can, but I don't have anyone. Mom's gone. You're on a ship. I don't know what to do. Her voice is breaking. 14 years old, scared, alone, in a hospital that's about to be destroyed. Emma, listen to me. You need to get out. Find a nurse. Tell them you need transport. Get on any vehicle that's leaving. Go to the nearest shelter. Underground, if possible. Do you understand? But Dad, there are people here who can't walk, who can't move. The nurses are saying they have to prioritize ambulatory patients. There's this kid, maybe 8 years old. He's got both legs in casts. They're leaving him. They're leaving people. They're leaving people. Making the same impossible choices I've been making for 18 hours. Save who you can. Except that you can't save everyone. You have to save yourself. Get out of that hospital, please. But I can't just leave these people, Dad. You didn't leave your crew. You went back for them. You said we don't leave people behind. She's using my words against me. Using the lessons I taught her. Don't leave people behind. Stand your ground. Do what's right even when it's hard. She learned too well. Emma, this is different. You're a civilian. You're 14 years old. You're not trained for this. Neither were the people in our apartment building. Neither was Mom. But she stayed. She covered me. She didn't run. I can't run either, Dad. I can't just leave that kid with the broken legs. I can't.
I close my eyes. See Sarah covering Emma as the ceiling came down. See Lisa Reeves is staying on Roosevelt's bridge as her ship sank. See every person who stayed and fought and died doing the right thing. Emma's going to stay. She's going to help that kid and whoever else can't evacuate. And she's going to be there when the missiles hit. Unless I stop it. Chen, I need this ship. I need the Mason to break off and head to Richmond. Now. Harris, that's not your call. Mason's assigned to Norfolk Defense. I'm not abandoning station on your personal request. It's not personal, it's tactical. 12 to 15 missiles targeting a civilian hospital with inadequate defenses. We can stop that. The Mason can get there,
provide air defense, save hundreds of lives. And abandon Norfolk defense, abandon the mission, get court-martialed for dereliction of duty. He's right. Everything he's saying is tactically sound. We can't abandon Norfolk to save one hospital. Can't sacrifice the mission for personal reasons. But it's Emma, and she's not running. She's staying because I taught her not to abandon people. And now she's going to die because of it. If you were in command of this ship, what would you do? He looks at me, understands what I'm asking, understands the choice I'm facing. I'd save the girl, sir. The mission matters, but so does she. And if we can't save a 14-year-old kid and a hospital full of wounded people, what the hell are we fighting for? Chen shakes his head. This is insane. You're both talking about mutiny, about stealing a U.S. Navy destroyer to protect your personal interests. Not my interests. American civilians, wounded people, kids who can't defend themselves. That's what we're supposed to protect. That's the whole point. The point is following orders, defending strategic assets, not running off on personal rescue missions. My phone rings again. Dad, they're taking the kid now. They found room in an ambulance, but there are still 20, maybe 30 people who can't be moved. The nurses are staying with them. I'm staying too. Someone has to. Emma, no. You need to get out. I love you, Dad. I'm sorry, but I can't run. Not when people need help. You taught me that. You and Mom, you both taught me to be brave. So I'm being brave. The line goes dead. She hung up on me. My 14-year-old daughter just hung up on me because she's staying in a hospital that's about to be hit by Russian missiles. I look at Chen. Give me the Mason. Let me save that hospital. Court-martial me later if you want, but let me save my daughter. No, I'm not sacrificing Norfolk defense for one hospital. I'm sorry about your daughter, but the answer is no. The bridge goes silent. Everyone's staring, waiting to see what happens next. Webb steps forward. Captain Chen, with respect, I'm asking you to reconsider. That hospital has hundreds of people. We can save them. We can make a difference. And Norfolk has thousands, tens of thousands. We stay on mission. I look at the tactical display. Shows the Mason heading west toward Norfolk. Shows Richmond 200 miles to the northwest. Shows the incoming missile tracks converging on both cities. I look at Webb, at the crew in the bridge, at Chen standing firm on his decision. I think about about the Porter crew, about every impossible choice I've made in the last 18 hours. And I make one more. You have the con. You have the con. I'm temporarily relieving Captain Chen of command of the USS Mason. Under emergency circumstances, I'm assuming command by authority of being the senior surviving captain from Destroyer Squadron 22, and I'm ordering this ship to proceed to Richmond at flank speed to defend civilian targets from hostile missile attack. Chen stares at me. That's mutiny. That's a court-martial offense. They'll strip your rank, they'll put you in prison. Probably. But Emma will be alive. So will those people in that hospital. That's worth it. You're destroying your career for this. My career was over the second the Porter went down. I'm just finishing what I started. Protecting the people I love. Doing the job, even when it costs everything. Chen looks around. At his crew, at Webb. At me. You're insane. Probably. But I'm also right. And you know it. He stares at me for a long moment, then... But I'm logging this. Every second, every decision. When the Board of Inquiry tears you apart, I'm testifying that I oppose this. Fair enough. Helm, come about. Set course to Richmond. Flank speed. Time to target. The helmsman looks at Chen. Chen nods. Slowly. Course laid in. Flank speed. Time to Richmond. 3 hours, 45 minutes. 3 hours, 45 minutes. The missiles hit in 4 hours. We might just make it. If we push the engines hard enough. If nothing breaks. If luck finally decides to favor us instead of killing us. Execute. Full speed. We're going to save that hospital. The Mason turns, accelerates, racing northwest toward Richmond, toward Emma, toward one more impossible fight. Webb appears at my side. Captain,
You know they're going to court-martial you for this. You know your career is over. Was it worth it? I think about Emma, about her staying to help people who can't help themselves, about her being brave because I taught her to be.
Ask me when this is over. Fair enough, sir. The Mason surges forward, every system pushed to maximum, racing against time, against missiles, against fate itself. Behind us, Norfolk's defenses will have to hold without us. Washington will have to survive on what's left. Ahead of us, Richmond is about to be hit. Emma is about to be hit, and we're the only ship close enough to stop it. One more battle, one more stand, one last chance to save the people who matter. I grip the railing and watch the ocean race past. We're coming, Emma. Hold on. Just hold on. The missiles appear on radar at 0945 hours. 15 red symbols, converging on Richmond from the northeast. The Mason is 10 miles offshore. Every system hot, ready to throw everything we have at the incoming raid. We made it. 3 hours, 45 minutes of pushing the engines until they screamed, but we made it. All stations, this is the captain. 15 missiles inbound to Richmond. We are the only defense. Kill every single one. Clear? The Mason's crew responds. They know about Emma. They're fighting for her too. Weapons free. Engage. The Mason shudders as standards blast from the VLS cells. 96 missiles against 15 targets. The math finally works. First standards engaging. Splash count 4, 6, 9. More standards connect. The count climbs. 12 kills, 3 remaining. ESSM engaging. Phalanx tracking. The phalanx mount spins up, that chainsaw roar cutting through the bridge. Splash count 14, 1 remaining. 1 missile, 30 seconds from killing Emma. Phalanx engaging target. Tracers arc through the sky. Splash, final target destroyed. All missiles neutralized. The bridge erupts. We did it. We stopped them all. It was alive. I key the radio. Richmond Memorial Hospital. This is USS Mason. Threat neutralized. You're safe. Then Emma's voice. Did you just save us? Yeah, sweetheart. I saved you. I love you. Dad, love you too. I'm coming ashore. Worth it. Every second worth it. Admiral Patterson comes on the line minutes later. Harris, you abandoned your post, commandeered another captain's ship. You're getting court-martialed. Yes, sir, I know. A pause. Did you save them? Yes, sir. All 15 missiles destroyed, 0 casualties. You're the most insubordinate officer I've ever commanded. You're also the bravest. Remain on station. We'll sort the legal issues later. The boat takes me ashore. Emma's waiting outside the hospital. Broken arm, bruised face, but alive, running toward me. I catch her, hold her tight. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Dad. You saved me again. That's the job. 3 weeks later, they held the Board of Inquiry. I sat in a Pentagon hearing room and answered questions about mutiny, about abandoning station. They pressed hard, wanted to know if I'd do it differently. I told them the truth, that I'd do it exactly the same way, that Emma was alive because of those choices. They deliberated for 6 hours. Admiral Patterson read the findings. Captain Cole Harris acted with exceptional courage during unprecedented circumstances. While his decision violated regulations, it resulted in 0 civilian casualties. He is hereby awarded the Navy Cross. He is also formally reprimanded and recommended for command of USS Porter II upon her completion. They gave me a medal and a new ship. Order 2 launches in 4 months. Webb's coming as XO. Most of the old crew request a transfer. I think about the Porter on the Atlantic floor, about Lisa Reeves and Roosevelt's crew,
about Sarah Harris crushed in a collapsing building. Their sacrifice bought time, bought lives, bought tomorrow for people like Emma. That has to matter. I don't know how this war ends. Don't know if my choices were right or just less wrong. But Emma is alive. My crews survived. Washington and Richmond still stand. And when the alarm sounds again, when impossible choices return, I'll stand watch. Because that's the job. That's what it means to wear the uniform and stand between darkness and the people you love. You hold the line, whatever it costs, however long it takes. You hold the line, and you pray it's enough.